and they know that many of them are going to be voted out of office. So now they're trying to engage in a coup. If this was going on in any other country, America would be outraged. If this was going on in any other country, the President of the United States and others would even speak out. Even candidates would speak out against it. Because what you see going on here is just blatant, unconstitutional meanness. It's like apartheid government. It's like fascism. It's wrong.
All right, Reverend Barber saying if this was going on in any other country, we would all be outraged. Still with us, Michael Moore. And I want to talk to you about what is going in North Carolina. In some ways, I think it's actually the most important story in the country right now this week.
It's an amazing story.
Because it is such a flagrant violation.
Right.
It's technically procedurally, it's technically legal. They can do this. They have a supermarket.
Right.
But it is such a manifestly sort of, it seems so illegitimate that it's straining the bounds of something that feel pretty deep.
It's a good coming attraction to how the Republicans are going to use power in the next, not few years, few weeks and months. I have to say this. You have to admire conservatives and Republicans. They are so brazen. They don't care. They just go for it. This is just amazing that what you just showed. It was just amazing.
And what's amazing to me, Reverend Barber there, who I think is a man who is a pretty amazing organizer I've spent some time with, reported on. He does understand power. Yeah. But then you have the Democrats in the state assembly saying things like, essentially trying to shame them. It would be nice if we can get back to governing. Yeah. This is so non-bipartisan. Right. As opposed to understanding that what essentially is happening there is a very fundamental power.
Yeah, how come on my side of the political fence we don't have that sort of, that courage of their convictions, the sort of decisiveness and the full speed ahead? I mean, seriously, just if tonight, if Donald Trump was ahead by 3 million votes, but Hillary was going to get the Electoral College on Monday, what do you think the Trump people and the Republicans would be doing?
The world will look very different, I agree,
Absolutely. And I don't mean that they would react violently. I just mean they would...
Lawsuits.
Everything. They would throw everything at this. And what is our side
There would have been no concession yet,
No, there would be no concession. But, again, the Clinton campaign, everybody's trying to, President Obama wants to be the nice guy. Everybody's, and it's like, this is not the time. This is serious stuff that's ahead of us here.
This story in Maine, goes with this as well. Governor LePage, they passed a minimum wage referendum that increased the minimum wage for tipped workers against the opposition of the sitting governor, Paul LePage. He announced today that he isn't going to instruct his Department of Labor not to enforce the law.
Right. Right.
And this is just and it does seem to me almost that this seems to me like edging into democratic crisis in a very profound way.
Absolutely. No, our democracy here
but then
is
but can you fight to restore democracy? The question becomes is do you fight fire with fire? Does that just restore democracy, or do you further degrade it if you do that?
No, you have to fight fire with fire. You absolutely have to. You can stay on the high road and fight at the same time. Unfortunately, the Democrats, my side, they're usually, whoa, wait a minute, that's not right. And then everybody goes into their depressive voice of, oh, wait a minute. It's like, no, come on, people, come on.
Speaking of the Democrats.
The tanks are 20 miles outside of Paris. Let's go. I mean, seriously. Speaking
of the Democrats and Democratic leadership, do you have, the Secretary of Labor, Tom Perez, today announced he'll be running for DNC chair. Keith Ellison, one of the very few members of Congress to endorse Bernie Sanders in the primary, who's been endorsed both by Bernie and by Chuck Schumer, so sort of different wings of the party, I think it's fair to say. Do you have a preference in that race? Is there someone that you want to see lead the Democratic Party?
It should definitely be Keith Ellison. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, and not just because the Bernie thing. I think we need new blood. We need young blood. We need this thing. God bless Nancy Pelosi. She's done so many great things. Historic figure, but to go with the same old when we need new thinking, fresh blood, and a fight in us. Yeah. A fight. And this is. There's so many things that should be discussed right now. Here's something that's not even being discussed. The fact that the CIA has told us that they hacked both the DNC and the RNC, but only released the DNC, didn't release the RNC. One of the things that nobody's talking about is, well, clearly they have the goods on something or somebody there. why do you want to risk a president in the White House that could be blackmailed by whatever they discovered at the RNC?
I will note the Wall Street Journal has reporting today to suggest that perhaps they didn't get into the. It's not clear. There's some reporting today in the Wall Street Journal suggests perhaps they didn't get into the RNC because of security measures. That said, it also strikes me that
to believe that, though, we have to believe that the Republicans, the grand old party, is so up on their technology that they had firewalls in there. And
but there's also
Democrats of Silicon Valley didn't.
There's also a broader question about the implications more broadly about this entire thing. I mean, once people start pulling on the threads of where this investigation goes and what else happens to the possession of whoever pulled this off, which appears to be the Russian state actors.
Listen, we are hours away now from the Electoral College coming together on Monday. This needs protest. This needs people's voices. You can go to Vigils for America. I think it's .org. And they have the list of all the state protests at the state capitals this weekend and on Monday. People need to have their voice heard. Don't say to yourself, well, what's the use? We can't, how do we, nothing's going to happen. You don't know that. You don't know that. That's why we have to keep fighting. We have to fight all the way to Inauguration Day and then be ready for them to start the day after the inauguration, passing law after law after law.
And you think protesting on Inauguration Day and
protesting, obstructing, disrupting, civil disobedience. I mean, the man has no right to enter that house. There are too many questions about whatever collusion was going on. I mean, they admitted that they were in touch with the Russians during the campaign. They have said that. Right. So we would need to know as Americans what the hell was going on there. And he does not have a mandate. He does not have a mandate. And that just needs to be said over and over and over again. And the media, for God's sake, please do your job. I mean,
we try. No, Michael Moore.
Now you're not trying hard enough, Chris.
Yeah, keep trying. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it very much.
All right.